Okay, so this is our after party for the color portion. So Alden, what else do you want everyone to know about doing color appointments, foundation, anything else that you feel like you want to add to that conversation?
Yes. So first off, when I was talking about the virtual foundation matching, if you go to, I suggest you go to your Mary Kay website. So mine is marykay.com/Otten-Sweeney. So I go to that. And then if you click the 3 lines on the left, under tips and trends, you'll see foundation matching quiz. Click on that. And then I go up to the top, like web bar, and copy and paste that. And I just directly send that to my customer. And it asks them the questions. And the reason that I do it from my website is because sometimes people then just go shopping and I want them on my website. So that is why I do it that way, but it will show them and it'll say like, your perfect match is beige 150. And from there, usually you guys, they're pretty spot on, but it gives you a baseline to then know, okay, I ask them questions like, do you ever burn? Because then I'll know they're more of a cool tone. Do you, get really tan? They're more warm or neutral. So I ask those questions, but virtually for the last couple of years, I've been able
You guys hear her? Were you frozen?
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't know I was. How long have I been frozen for?
Since you said burning, if people are burning, they're
Okay, so I asked them those questions because if people burn in the sun, they're more cool tone. But the foundation colors have matched, like when I've done virtual stuff, pretty much spot on. I just did one last week. I've never seen the person in person. I've never seen a picture of her. And I told her to do it on my website and it worked. So that's a great start for foundation matching. Am I fine now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's really helpful. And you guys, if you ask most of your customers, do you feel confident that you're wearing the right foundation color? They're probably not confident. And that'd be a great way to get bookings right now.
Mm-hmm.
You could literally simply ask, hey, Dawn, do you feel you're in the right shade of foundation? And start a booking conversation right from there. Because I
think that is such an easy way to book. When we came out with, maybe it was our medium and full coverage, that was the whole marketing campaign, is that the percentage of women who aren't in the right foundations. And so we did all of our appointments by asking, do you feel comfortable with your foundation color? That was how people warm book. That's how they book parties. And it was the easiest guest events and the easiest parties on the planet, because you still do skincare, like no matter what the focus is, whether it's, a hydra session or color. Like Alden didn't do skincare because that would either be people who had already done skincare coming to a color class. But if you come into a group of people that haven't not done skincare, you're going to do fast skincare with them anyways. You always do that. So the foundation takes you straight into the skincare, and I think that was the easiest phase of people getting booking. So why not just do it in January? New year, new you. Do you feel comfortable with your foundation color? I mean, I bet everyone could book 30 faces today with that.
And this is the time frame. No matter really, unless you live in a place that it's the same all year long, like consistently, usually women's shade changes a little bit. And this is when you really start to tell, when you get on the back side of Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that was my foundation tip. And then in person, I never, do demo anything on my face at all. But if I was doing virtually, you could do bits and pieces if you felt comfortable with them. to show them like how you applied the lip color, or, have one eye on and do another eye, or whatever it is. Do know that if you're applying it to your face and talking through things, it takes longer. So you just have to factor that in to the equation, but people love seeing that, and it really sells things virtually as well. But do know that until the pandemic, I never did glamour on myself, on my face, and sold tons of glamour, teaching people how to do it for themselves at appointments.
Yeah. What other things do you feel like, if you guys want to type in the chat, if you had, people were asking for your mid-tone, I guessed hazelnut.
It was smoky quartz. Christina typed it in there.
Okay.
I missed that one. Yep. It was smoky quartz was my mid-tone color.
Okay.
But another thing that I was going to say, until you get confident picking colors that look good together, go with the looks that the company makes. The color cards, you guys, that's all I did for glamour appointments with people, was the color cards. And those are super easy too. If you want to give people samples and do things virtually, like hop on a Zoom, you can mail a color card in a regular envelope, like with a regular stamp, and mail it to them. And it gives them 3 eye colors, a cheek color, and a lip color. That's a lot of color for people. So that's how I did all of my in-person appointments until I, started venturing and doing more. But like Dawn had said in the training leading up to my time frame, I'm the exception. I'm not the norm. So I don't want people to look at me and think, oh my gosh, she knows all this glamour stuff. She could do all this stuff. Like I couldn't ever, be a top director because I can't do that, or I'm just not that person. I'm not the norm at all. Like I'm the one that does Dawn's makeup for special events, and we're very clear where we are different on the career path, right? So it doesn't have to, hold people back. I never want people to think that, because they might not be as much of a glamour girl as me, that it means anything. It doesn't at all. It's just being willing to learn enough and equip yourself enough that you can add value to other people. That's the key to it.
So like what Alden shared with you, you can just take bits and pieces. Like I've just done color, listen to people who are good at color along the way in my career, and taken enough that I sound like I know more than the average person. And I do, just because of the business that, we were in, which to me has been a benefit. Otherwise, like if you're not a color person, my gosh, I went to high school, college in the 80s. So I had sun in orange hair, blue eyeliner, and frosty pink lipstick, and thought that was a good idea. So, it's getting just some of these tips and then using them to help women. And then if you do have Miss Glamorama, give her this video.
Yep. And then real quick, one person just said, I need to go shopping in my store. You guys, the reason that Dawn and I chose to do full glam like that versus me doing like a dash out the door look, which is what the majority of women and your customers will do, by the way. But the reason that we chose like start at foundation and do a full glam look is because we want you guys equipped to do it for yourselves. So I think Tammy, I think that was your name, just said like, I need to go shopping in my own store.
Yeah.
I expect every independent beauty consultant to have this full glamour bag. Because this is like full glamour, but like my full glamour is very different. So let's not, I probably have 3 of these in my cabinet, a whole separate cabinet in my house. But anyways, so this is your basic as a professional independent beauty consultant with Mary Kay. So you very much need to shop on your shelf, because you guys, yes, there'll be people that compliment you out and about if they're really, if they know how to articulate things and they're really attentive. But that's few and far between with women that will compliment your skin. But there will be more women that compliment, I love that lip color, or that eyeshadow, or your makeup looks really good. So that helps you stand out to draw people to you. so that you're getting attention drawn to you for your Mary Kay business. And then it naturally turns into something that you don't have to, actively do. You're just presenting yourself like a professional and drawing people to you. So definitely having, your full face. Same with the skincare that Raina and Sonia taught. If you don't have that full roll-up bag for yourself in your bathroom hanging up right now, that needs to get done tonight before you wash your face. You need all those products because you guys, how Dawn said that I have always been a glamour girl and used a ton of products and, did all that while growing up. Once I got into Mary Kay, I started using way more products than I ever did because I knew that if I used them, I was going to be selling them. So that made a difference in how much product I used, and trying different colors and trying different things. It was a business focus. It was not, oh, I love doing this. I just happened to, but it was very much a business choice to grow business that way. And then one other thing I wanted to touch on is you guys saw how I essentially bribed people for names and numbers with free product. So I wanted to share with you guys the method behind my madness on that and explain that, because I've had people say I would never give away, that free product for 10 names or numbers or whatever it might be. And you guys, it is your own business and you can do whatever you want, but I'm going to share from my experience how this has been beneficial and how I think this way and how I think that it is helpful to your business. I always have been willing to bribe people with products, because I know if they're using products, they're going to be a better customer, all the things. I also, when I was 19 and starting, knew that I needed to get into different markets. So I wasn't just working with 19-year-olds. And you guys, this comes into play at all different levels of your business. I've just had a few conversations with consultants that are seasoned in their business and excellent at the positions that they're at. But we've come to a conclusion that we're not in a good target market right now, and we need to get into a different target market. So how are we going to do that? And I always looked at my sharpest customers. How much am I willing to bribe them? Sometimes it's 100, sometimes it's 200, sometimes it's 300. Sometimes it's a year of half off shopping privileges, depending how desperate I am at that time or willing I am at that time to get into really sharp people's markets. And I've never been burned financially on the other side of it, but that's something to evaluate. Look at your sharpest customers or your sharpest people that you know, and what are you willing to give them to get into their circles? But that's why I was willing to always give people free products for friends' names and numbers, because I know if I'm leaving a skincare class and say I have 5 people sitting around the table and 3 people actually give me, a full sheet of just 10. I've given away 3 mascaras, and I do it because it's easy to mail too. Otherwise, like, you could do eyeshadows and stuff, but they break, and easy things. And who doesn't want a mascara? But that's 30 names and numbers, and they are B leads if we're referring to boot camp, which means that they hold at a way higher rate than me meeting Sally at the grocery store. And I'm a very extroverted, outgoing person, but I do not like warm chatting. So if I can bribe somebody with some free mascaras to walk away from an appointment with 30 to 50 to 100 names versus having to go and get them out in everyday life that hold at a lower rate, which means I have to have more of them than less of them, I'm willing to bribe them. And they're then hooked on the product. They love the mascara. So they're going to be a mascara customer. So all I have to do is wait 3 months, follow up, and Susie Q's ordering a mascara. I've made my money back. And in the meantime, I guarantee I've had bookings, sales, appointments that have paid for that. So that's the method behind my madness with bribing people for, names and numbers. And I do this with names and cell phone numbers. I would not do this with Facebook friend names. Very different ballgame. I want names and cell phone numbers. And you can get names and cell phone numbers in person, over Zoom, over Facebook. Everybody's got a cell phone, right? So that's the reason that I did that and wanted to show you guys how I do that.
Okay. All right. I'm going to conclude this and we're going to go into the next piece. Just one second.